Wang Chuqin. The arena erupts, a wall of noise crashing over the table. Wang Chuqin walks in, world number 1, built for pressure. Across the table, Truls Möregårdh. Unpredictable, explosive, pure chaos. But something's off with Wang Chuqin. Yesterday, during the mixed doubles celebration, a photographer stepped back and crushed his paddle. His trusted weapon? Gone. Tonight he steps into singles with a racket he barely knows. Can the world number 1 survive when his biggest Olympic match begins at a disadvantage? July 31st, 2024, Paris Olympics. Men's singles, round of 32. Truls lights the fire. Truls exploded out. Fast hands, sharp angles, fearless counters. Wang Chuqin looked unsettled, struggling to anchor himself. But wait, you thought the world number 1 would stabilize fast. Not even close. And the wave doesn't stop. Truls keeps rising. Truls blended touch and chaos. Soft blocks, sudden accelerations. Wang Chuqin was reacting. Scrambling, losing his calm edge. But all in a sudden, the giant strikes back. Wang Chuqin locked in. Crisp control, heavy spin, ruthless precision. For a moment, Truls was drowning in pace. Instead of turning, momentum intensifies. Truls saves a point with pure nerve, but Wang Chuqin answers instantly and steals this set. You expected Wang Chuqin to continue to win, right? Absolutely not. Deja vu. Razor, blade, pressure. Again. Another knife-edge set? Wang Chuqin pressed like a machine. Truls held like a fighter refusing reality itself. You expect a champion's response here, yeah? Nope. Truls shuts that door instantly. The decisive moment. The final set goes brutal. Truls stands unshaken under Wang Chuqin's fire. One last rip and the world number 1 falls. But wait, if Truls unleashed this much chaos, what happens when a teenager challenges a legend? Are you ready? If these upsets blew your mind, wait until you see the next ones. Hit like and subscribe. The chaos only gets crazier. Fans Zhendong, the stadium shook first. A roar, a wave, then stepped in the kid everyone underestimated. Fans Zhendong, only 16, all fire. Across the table, Xu Xin, world number 1. The master everyone feared. And this wasn't just any match. 2013 China National Games, September 9th. Men's singles semi-final. The one tournament even Chinese players say is harder than the Olympics. This wasn't a match. It was a teenager challenging the entire hierarchy of Chinese table tennis. But then, a rally began that nobody in the arena believed a 16-year-old could survive. Was this the exact moment a legend was born? Calm before the shock. Xu Xin carried himself like royalty. Smooth, confident, untouchable. But then Fan Zhendong struck, and suddenly the king looked human. What came next, nobody saw coming. Pressure builds. Xu Xin tried to raise the pressure. Sharper, faster, heavier. But the 16-year-old didn't crack. Fan Zhendong kept leading the world number 1. Then total control 3 rounds in, and the kid was crushing it. A 16-year-old Fan Zhendong making the champion look lost. The crowd thought it was over, until it wasn't. But all in a sudden, momentum shifted. Just when Fan Zhendong looked unbeatable, Xu Xin fought back. The rallies got longer. The crowd got louder. No one was breathing. Then, the shake. Xu Xin smelled weakness. He crushed the pace, taking full control. And suddenly, the legendary moment was slipping out of Fan Zhendong's hands. Next, the breakthrough. But legends don't fold. They finish. In the final moments, Fan Zhendong flipped the script again, sealing it with pure power and ice-cold nerve. If a 16-year-old could shake the world number 1, could a European underdog do the same? Benedikt Duda. The stadium trembles. Every eye locked, every heartbeat echoing across the arena. Calm, fearless, focused. Benedikt Duda steps in, the outsider with nothing to lose. Across the table, Fan Zhendong, the unstoppable force, 2024 Paris, Olympic champion, frozen in disbelief. The scoreboard tells a story nobody expected. A European underdog controlling a legend? The unthinkable is unfolding. Every point, now, a heartbeat. 2025 Bundesliga, August 31st, Germany. Men's singles showdown. Can Duda hold his nerve? Or will the Olympic champion turn the tide at the last second? Duda strikes first. Duda stepped in like a storm. Fearless, precise, relentless from the very first ball. Every shot kept Fan Zhendong off balance, and in the clutch, you could feel the whole arena tighten. Did Duda's hot start make you wonder if a 3-0 over Fan Zhendong was coming? Then Fan Zhendong strikes back. Duda held his ground, but Fan Zhendong broke through with speed and precision. The Olympic champ took charge and left Duda scrambling. You figured Fan Zhendong's champion composure would bring a 3-1 turnaround. Suddenly, Germany rises. With Duda fed off that energy, ripping through fans' defenses with sharp, fearless pressure. On home soil, every rally made the German crowd roar louder. Then came the unthinkable. Zhendong faltered. just for a second, and the arena let out. The sound fans make when they know the giant is in real trouble. Because in that moment, it became clear. Duda was taking this match. His once-in-a-lifetime victory over the world's most feared player recently. If Duda could shock the Olympic champion, can Truls do the impossible against the world number 2? If these upsets blew your mind, wait until you see the next ones. Hit like and subscribe. Chaos only gets crazier. Truls Möregårdh. The arena erupted. Every cheer, every gasp, a storm crashing over the Swedish table. Across the net stood Truls Möregårdh, fearless, relentless, fighting for triumph on home soil. Facing him, Lin Shidong, world number 2, nearly untouchable. A 7-set battle awaited, 24th August, 2025, Europe Smash Men's Singles Final, Sweden. A hometown hero challenging the king. Could Truls write a new story, or would Lin continue his dominance? Could Truls really topple the seemingly untouchable world number 2 in front of his home crowd? The home crowd roars. Truls Möregårdh came out electrified, feeding off the Swedish crowd. His unorthodox backhands and fearless counters had Lin Shidong scrambling. The hometown hero struck first. Then everything flipped. Lin Shidong strikes back, but Lin wasn't rattled. The teenager adjusted quickly, tightening his angles and forcing Truls onto the defensive. His pace grew heavier, his shots sharper. The duel was far from over. Then, on a knife's edge. This set was war. Every rally stretched with tension, neither Truls nor Lin Shidong giving an inch. Truls dared to go bolder, ripping 2 fearless winners, and the Swedish crowd erupted in disbelief. Next, the Swede doubles down. Truls pressed harder, mixing sudden spins, deceptive serves, and fearless flicks. Lin Shidong scrambled, but the Swede stayed one step ahead. But Lin Shidong refuses to bow. But Lin Shidong had built a reputation on defiance, storming through the 5th with blistering pace. His forehand loops tore through Truls' defense, a statement that the fight was far from over. What came next, nobody saw coming. Survival at the edge. This was the turning point. Truls and Lin Shidong battled with every impossible shot. With nerves of steel, Lin edged ahead, and the arena trembled as the final set loomed. A single miss, and the dream cracked. Everything on the line. The atmosphere was electric. Every point cheered like a goal. Truls Möregårdh summoned one last surge, mixing daring shots with sheer grit. The hometown hero stood tall as Lin Shidong fell before him. If Truls could topple the world number 2, could Kanak pull off the impossible against a World Cup champion next? Kanak Jha. The arena trembled, because everyone sensed something was wrong with Hugo Calderano. One more slip, and the world champion's armor might actually crack. Hugo entered carrying the weight of expectation, the crowd watching his every breath. But across the table stood Kanak Jha, calm, razor-focused, and ready to swing at a giant no one believed could fall. 2025 WTT Champions Montpellier, October 29th. Fans expected another routine show of dominance from Hugo, but within minutes, the script shattered. So now only one question echoed through the arena. Would the champion survive or collapse? Calm before the storm, Hugo entered like a king. Confident, controlled, untouchable. Kanak? Quiet, focused, waiting. But wait, you'd think Hugo would sweep Kanak 3-0? This rally broke the match open. Suddenly the rallies got longer, the angles got sharper. Hugo looked surprised. Kanak was no longer just surviving. He was challenging. Hugo fought back, reminding everyone why he's the champ. But Kanak, still calm, still waiting for his moment. Now the pressure was real. Everything flipped. Kanak's timing was perfect. His shots, brave. Hugo's rhythm, fading. You thought Hugo seemed set to win 3-2? But then the match rewrote itself. The moment of truth, at the edge of victory or disaster, Kanak stayed fearless. And the champion blinked. Kanak Jha just rewrote the script. Hugo was shockingly out for the first round. Round of 32. If the world champion falling shook you, what happens when the rising prodigy Lin Shidong faces a double Olympic legend? If these upsets blew your mind, wait until you see the next ones. Hit like and subscribe. The chaos only gets crazier. Lin Shidong. The roar hit first, a wave of noise crashing through Beijing. Then stepped in the teenager everyone was watching. Lin Shidong, 19, fearless, rising fast. Across the table, Ma Long, the two-time Olympic champion, the final boss of table tennis. October 6th, 2024, China Smash Men's Singles Final. Beijing, a showdown destined to go all 7 rounds. This wasn't just a match. It was a challenge to the king himself. But was this the night the crown finally cracked, or would Ma Long remind the world who rules? Lin Shidong strikes first. Lin Shidong came out swinging. Fearless, explosive, pushing Ma Long back from ball 1. The crowd felt it instantly. The teenager wasn't just surviving, he was attacking the king. You thought Lin Shidong would sweep 4-0 after winning the first set? Not even close. The dragon refuses to lose. But Ma Long steadied instantly. The champion slowed the pace and cracked Lin's rhythm apart. In one shift, the teenager's fire met the calm of a king. Then, experience speaks. Ma Long dictated every rally, pushing Lin into hesitation. The arena felt it. The king was taking control. Next, a battle of nerves. Lin Shidong fired with desperation, but Ma Long answered every burst with ice-cold defense. One brutal battle later, the teenager was staring at the brink of defeat. The crowd thought it was over, until it wasn't. Lin Shidong refuses to fold. But Lin Shidong wasn't done. He stormed back with fearless aggression from the first rally. The teenager's fire reignited the fight, keeping hope alive against the king. Suddenly, the teenager turns the tide. Lin Shidong controlled the tempo, smashing through Ma's defenses. The teenager owned the court, and the crowd could feel history about to be made. Then, the final battle. Everything came down to the final set. Point by point, Lin Shidong refused to blink. The arena erupted as the 19-year-old toppled Ma Long in an unforgettable 7-set war. After watching the most shocking table tennis upsets ever, which part surprised you the most? Comment below and share your thoughts with the reason why.